Teach, this is just too much.
All right, Storiers. We're back today. But today we have a great interview with you with the inimitable BrianKlems. Yes.
Get a definition.
Right there, right there at the bottom.
So, first thing you'll see, obviously, we went to the batting cages, had a little
competition.
challenge.
Yeah.
Brian came way more prepared than we were ready for.
Yeah. And I'm not gonna spoil the ending, but
yeah, he's gonna talk about just writing philosophies, pantsing versus plotting. He's gonna talk about writing every day and those kind of things. So it's gonna be a great interview, along with a little entertainment at the batting cage. Let's go! Woo!
That's been my favorite thing in this whole process, other than writing the book and having kids. It's helping others learn how to write better and get published.
How do you take someone, how do you assess where they are,
Sure.
figure out what they need, or is there like a one size fits?
I think it's very different, and there are different levels of where people are in their writing journey. Okay. So a lot of people will start out and they will say, I have this, like you were saying, I have this idea. Mm-hmm. You know, luckily this is one of the things I should back up and say. It kind of separates writers from people who kind of dream about writing, which is there are many people who sit down and say, I have an idea, I could write a book, I should write a book, I can write a book. And the truth is, not many people can really do it because it's such a challenge. It's such a gratifying challenge, but it's a challenge. But when someone has an idea and they set out and they're like, I want to accomplish this challenge, from there it's all about understanding the idea. And you have to accept up front whether you're a plotter or a pantser. And by that I mean...
So you don't have a preference?
I have my preference.
No, I mean, so you have a personal preference, but you don't have a, this is how you should do it preference.
No, I don't have a preference, only because I talk to people who do it so many different ways and have such different success. You know, it's kind of the same token as you often hear the advice, you should write every day. And funny, there's this David Morrell, the author of First Blood, which is the Rambo series. He tells this story. I've seen him speak at conferences a bunch of times, and he tells a story about Stephen King. And he says, Stephen King says, he writes every day except for his birthday and for Christmas. And he said, and David Morrell would be like, he's a liar. I know that's not true. And he's like, I know he also writes on his birthday and on Christmas. And it's such a great story, but the point he was trying to make was you have to write every day. Mm-hmm. And I don't give that advice because I don't write every day. And I find I work better in writing in big chunks. Like when I'm in a zone, I like to go in and do it and work hard. So I'm better served writing 2 days a week, but for a 5-hour chunk than I am 1 hour a day.
That's how I am.
So
you're like a know thyself kind of, that's kind of the...
I think that's very true. So whether, for me, I like to plot things out. I've learned that I'm better structured, especially with stories and different things that I'm writing. I need to know where it begins and where it ends. And then from there, I start mapping out points, in chapters. If I'm trying to, and so I suggest this to some people, if you don't know how your book's going to flow along, try to write the first sentence and the last sentence of each chapter, or at least the idea where it starts and where it has to end. That way your book moves along and moves forward. And then if you're a pantser, where you just sit down and write, more power to you. I can't do that. I'm not as good at that. But I've seen people do it with massive success, and they say, I just let the characters tell me where the plot is going to go. I admire that. And some people have great success. So I think you have to sit down in the beginning and say, how do you want to accomplish this? If you're a beginning runner and you have no idea, then I do suggest plotting it out, at least some basic plot points.
There you have it.
So that was our warm up, and unfortunately, I think for both. So I know I did a lot better in round one in my little practice than I ended up doing in the next round.
I don't want to blame my performance on this horrible crick I woke up with in my neck that day, but I'm just gonna throw that out there when you see it, So Just take that in mind.
One of the things I really appreciated, you have a lot of writing advice out there, and people can be pretty stringent about how to apply it, and you just have to do this. I appreciate that there's freedom there and autonomy in the way that he looks at it, and I think it's so helpful. We can get into a place where we get feeling pretty down because we're not doing it how, X, Y, Z person says we should. So
yeah, and plus, to know thyself as a writer. I think that was great advice. As writers, I don't think we're really in this to have to have rules necessarily. So saying like the idea that you would have to write a certain way to be effective, it's kind of like anybody that tells you, watch out for them, they're telling you stink away. Do people still say that? I don't even know what that means. So yeah, tell us, comment below, let us know like how your writing goes. Are you a plotter? Are you a pantser? Do you write in chunks? Are you somebody that can go right through a first draft? Personally, I'm somebody that moves backwards and forwards at the same time. I write a little bit forward the next day before I start. I'll go do a little bit of editing on the part before and then go forward a little bit more. So it's a longer process.
I think I'm probably a planter.
Planter, I like it.
Somewhere. I don't plot real hard. There's enough movement, but I plot a lot more now than I used to. I used to just be completely a pantser. I got general ideas and I'm general flow. So
we're gonna turn you into a plotter.
But I definitely
turn him into a plotter.
I definitely, from a chunk perspective, I definitely write better in larger chunks, and so I need to get better at scheduling those times as well.
I like planter, man. I'm a planter too.
We need to get back to doing that retreat.
Oh yeah,
it's supposed to be once a month.
For sure. Oh. Yes, that's gone. We need to make one of those happen in July. This month. Yeah.
We'd love to hear your comments.
Yes, comments.
You already said that, so that's how much we love it.
We love it. Right. We really want to let you know.
In case you didn't know, if you were wondering.
So, like,
subscribe,
share.
Because sharing
is caring.
And people won't know how much you care
until they see how much you share.
Share it!